are Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. You are welcome to land of rising sun. There is a land that is full of natural resources. We take divided us during colonization. No, we are jealous and industrious. Naturally, without education, I think we are loaded. Mentally, you can check out the world. Mama and Papa can go see the French in anywhere you from, around the world. Come and see who we are. You are welcome. Welcome to Biafra. This obodo you fall. Ever been seeing you are anywhere you from, around the world. Come and see who we are. You are welcome. Welcome to Biafra. Biafra, everybody see you are welcome.
Welcome. Please share the broadcast as you join. Kindly share the broadcast as you join. Share the broadcast on your own platform. Share it on your WhatsApp group, any place you belong. Keep on sharing. Thank you for joining. Please share on your platform. Share to family and friends, any place you belong. Share the broadcast so that people can join us and let's get going.
what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, as many as are joining. I appreciate every one of you who has connected to this program. Any place you are connecting from. If you are connecting from Biafra land, you are connecting from any part of the zoo, you are connecting from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, whichever part of the world you are joining me from, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you and secure you. Wherever you are joining from, I appreciate you and I thank you. More especially, my brothers and sisters who are joining from Biafra land, I give special appreciation for you, because most of you, I know how difficult it is, and it's not easy for you to be playing all the roles you are playing against all odds. You are going against all the challenges. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. Please, as you join the broadcast, kindly share the broadcast on your own platform. Share it to family and friends. Any group where you belong, any WhatsApp group you belong, share it there. It is our responsibility to pass this information. Information is key. The stage that we are now in this struggle, information is key. And before I continue, I have to let you know that this platform you are watching today, you are watching an autopiloted platform, autopiloted by Chukwu Okike Abiama himself, under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where I stand, standing for the truth and nothing but the truth. I don't preach hate speech, neither do I preach any blackmail. I don't attack people, neither do I preach people. I preach the truth and nothing but the truth. Autopiloted by Chukwu Okike Abiama himself, standing with the spokesman of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where I stand. And that is where I get my inspiration and my message from. Each time I come here, I come online to encourage my fellow Biafrans, to speak to my fellow Biafrans about the situation of things and encourage us to stand firm. Please like and share as you are watching, make sure you like the video, because you know in this broadcasting issue, we are having a great challenge. And the challenge we are having most of the time is that the social media doesn't permit us to push out the message of Biafra the way it's supposed to be. They are attacking our channels, making sure that notification doesn't go to people it's supposed to get to. So when you are liking the video and when you are sharing, you are actually helping us to pass the information. You are doing a needful work. By sharing and liking, you are doing something very important, and I appreciate you for that. Today, we are going to talk about some issues. As you all know, every one of you know what today is. You know that today, the verdict will be pronounced on Biafra people. It's supposed to be pronounced in the appeal court. And as you're watching before I came online, the lawyers are still in the court. The judgment that was set to be passed by 2 p.m. today is after 5 already. After 5. I normally start my program by 5. As at when I started the program, they are still in court. But let me tell you, Biafrans, for you, if you are sincerely a Biafran for the point of Biafra and you're a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if you are a sincere follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you don't have to be bothered about what their outcome becomes. Because before ever they pronounce anything, we know what is going to be their pronunciation. We know that the man whom we are talking about, the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, is not guilty of any charge in the Zululand Republic. He is not guilty of any charge. No law court on the planet Earth has convicted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since he started his agitation. As every one of you know, in case you have forgotten, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been broadcasting from the most police country in the world, one of the most police countries in the world, United Kingdom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was broadcasting for United Kingdom for more than a decade. He was never one day arrested. He was never one day invited by the police because he was preaching the truth and nothing but the truth. And we are standing on that very foundation that he led. Still continuing. So, if you are expecting any verdict and you're expecting something there is nothing today, a pronunciation that they're going to make in that court that is going to be a surprise to you and I. Because we know what they're up to. We know what they intend to do. We know what they're going to do. We know. On the side of our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra, we know Biafran people, we are innocent of all the charges. They have nothing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Forget about all their propaganda, all their lies, and all the blackmail. They have nothing against him. So don't be moved with whatever you're going to hear from the court. Do not be moved. In as much as we are looking forward to see whatever update they're going to put out there, but let me tell you, do not get distracted with whatever you hear. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what you hear. Be focused. If you are a sincere follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, an autopiloted IPOB, the original IPOB that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself instituted, if you're part of it, you don't have to be distracted. We know the Zoological Republic, and every one of you know the stage we are. The stage that we are today, it is not a stage where you will allow yourself to be distracted. And I tell you, more distractions are going to come. More distractions are going to come. The Zoological Republic, they play only one script. Their script is not easy to, it's not difficult to find out. It's not difficult for you to know the script they want to play. They have done it over and over again, over and over again. As much as we're waiting to hear whatever they're going to say in the court, don't be distracted. No matter what you hear as a result from the court, do not get distracted. Be focused. Don't get distracted. The stage we are now is in the state of liberation. The state of liberation, and no amount of information, no amount of distraction can make us stop the liberation of Biafra. As for our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. A man whom the United Nations with all their evil, United Nations with all their corruption have pronounced innocent. What else are you waiting for? What else are you waiting for? What else are you waiting for? What permission are you waiting for? What are you waiting? It doesn't matter what anybody said. Even before now, we have known our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent of all charges. So it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what the court say. It doesn't matter what they... It doesn't really matter to us. What matters to us is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man and he must be freed. He must be freed. And as I always say in my broadcast, the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not in the hand of any man. It is not in the hand of the judge, not in the hand of the lawyers, not in the hand of the Zoological Republic, not in the hand of the United Nations. The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of Chukwu Kabiama. And it is through you and I, you that is watching me, through what you do and what I do, that is what is going to trigger the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's what they're going to try. And that is why, if you are a part of the auto-piloted IPOB, if you know anything you are doing to see that Biafra comes, step it up. If you know anything you are doing to see that Biafra comes, step it up. That is the only thing that's going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu automatically. Let me tell you, the freedom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu requires for, is looking for, is Biafra. The freedom you have to be concerned about, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is concerned about, is Biafra. And it is only Biafra that can give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu absolute freedom. If you are looking for a half-baked freedom, that is not what I'm looking for. Personally, that is not what I'm looking for. And I believe the genuine Biafrans, hardcore Biafrans, who are the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who knows what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands for and what he defends. You don't get to get distracted. That is why I have to start my broadcast without waiting for any result or whatever report they are bringing. We can talk about that later. It doesn't matter what they say in the court. It doesn't matter what they bring. We already know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. Every one of us, it is not a story that you don't know. None of you that is watching me that will say he doesn't know why Mazi Nnamdi was kidnapped and how he was kidnapped and how he got into their hand. And we have had it time and time again. When the legal counsel is saying that you cannot build something on nothing, they have no charge against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has not committed any crime. In fact, they are the one who has committed crime against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, abused his rights. They have committed crime against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, committed crime against the international communities, committed crime against African chartered law, committed crime against their own law. And they want to stand on those illegality and begin to try an innocent man. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have remained the symbol of justice. He is the symbol of justice in that zoological republic. It doesn't matter whether you agree or you don't agree. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or you don't believe it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the symbol of justice. And you and I know that we are dealing with a monster. You and I know that we are dealing with a pharaoh. We are dealing with a pharaoh in this generation. A pharaoh that even when after he pronounced and allowed his children of Israel to go, he still chased them to the river. He still chased them. After he has allowed them to go, he still chased them. That is whom we are dealing with. That is why you must not step up the game. You must not step down the game. Any distraction that is coming from him, there is no amount of rumor or information you hear, no result you hear that you make you change the narrative and change what you're saying. As it stands today, the only man who has the right to change things the way it is today is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he's not going to do that in prison. He's not going to do that in DSS. He will do that in Afari Ibeku, in his father's compound. Until he gets back to Afari Ibeku, in his father's compound, then he will tell us the reason why we should change what we have to change. Until then, we have to speed up the game, because that is the desire of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everything you are seeing and you're hearing today has been planned by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself. It has been planned by him. Every single thing you see our spokesperson, Man Samuel Ekpa, doing today, every single thing you see him pursuing, these are foundations led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Strategies followed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and our spokesperson, Man Samuel Ekpa, is building on those things. The template of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what it is not necessary that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have handed it over to him. But let me tell you, when I begin to see the things that Samuel Ekpa is doing today, I believe him 100% that he goes into the heart of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take information on several occasions. The things he do are exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do if he was with us today. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was to be done, nobody there is talk about the election. You cannot talk about a Biafran conducting. It doesn't happen anywhere. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it even before he's kidnapped. He said it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in his own words, said that before 2023, before the end of 2022, that the zoo will be destroyed. And that implies that Biafra will come in 2023. And Mazi Simon Ekpa repeated the same thing, that 2023 we are going home. And we didn't just say it. A strategy on how to get to Biafra. The strategy has been laid out. It has been laid out. Some of you who are asking, why do we do this? Why do we do that? What is this? What is the roadmap? I believe some of you who are following his program, if you are following the program of Mazi Simon Ekpa, you won't be asking such questions. If you have been following the programs of Mazi, you will not be asking unnecessary questions. At this stage that we are, you don't need to be asking any unnecessary questions. When we say sit at home, you sit at home. Obedience, that is the only thing you have to do. At this point in time, the struggle is in the right hand. Chukwu Okike Abiyama have done the greatest miracle he will do for you and I. Some of you who are praying, Chukwu Okike Abiyama have done what he will do for us by giving us Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The day Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was born, the day he took over the responsibility of the struggle of Biafra, that was the day Chukwu Okike Abiyama answered the prayer of the Biafran people. He have answered it until when it came to completion. The enemy, the saboteurs, know very well that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not flinching an inch. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not flinching an inch. What did they do? They tried to take him away from the road. But Chukwu Okike Abiyama have planned it the way it should be. Knowing fully well that there are some evil men who are surrounding him that will not allow him to move far. And Chukwu Okike Abiyama gave him a rest. Wherever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, I call it a rest. That's what I call it. And when the appointed time comes, he's going to join us and raise the flag. He is going to join us and raise the flag. And today, thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama, we have somebody who is building on that same template of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without removing a thing. Building on the template of Mazi without removing a thing. Instead, he's making it tougher for them. That was why when he said that we have to make the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they have to pay a heavy price for kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have to make them know that kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be much more costly than they can bear. Much costly than they can imagine. And that is the stage we are today. That is the stage we are, and we are progressing in it. Even when all those saboteurs are running from pillar to pole, when they don't know, trying to distract people, people are still, Biafran people are falling in line. Biafran people are falling in line, doing the needful. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped initially, I never knew. I cried all day. I was devastated. Please like this video as you are watching. Like. When you are liking the video, you are attracting other people to join. Like the video. As you're liking, you are playing your own role for us to look at. Every one of us, those who are in the background watching and commenting, you are equally doing a good job. Please like as you join and share. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, every one of us was devastated. We never knew why it happened. But today, as the day goes by, you begin to realize why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was still with us, so many things have been revealed today will not be revealed. They will still be covered. They will still be covered. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was still with us, you will still be hearing, we are white and whiter than white. We are white and whiter than snow. We are white and white. You will still be hearing that song everywhere. Even when they are much more dirty, they are as black as charcoal. I say it all the time. The only man who has been white and whiter than white was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That was the only man that's white and white. And his whiteness, his brightness covered everywhere. His brightness was so bright that you could not be able to notice the dark spot around him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was so bright that you couldn't be able to notice the dark spot around him. And that was why, during that period, you will see everybody, when they enter their platform, they will be shouting, we are white and whiter than white. Well, today, do you see them say that? They don't have the liver to make that statement anymore. They don't have the liver to say it. They don't have the liver to make that statement. Because that veil that had been covering them had been removed. That man who was the white has been removed. He has been placed for a rest for a time. And all of them have been exposed. Today, they can't hide anymore. They can't hide anymore. They cannot hide anymore. It has gotten to the stage that they are coming out to confess by themselves. You see, in my program, I don't call people to them because they don't deserve to be mentioned. Their name is not, they don't deserve to mention their name in my program. But when I'm talking, you know people I'm referring to. They don't deserve that attention anymore. We are focused on where we're headed. Restoration of Biafra. Why I'm going back to this today is because today is a day that we are waiting for verdict from the appeal court, which was scheduled by 2 p.m. From 2 p.m., it is already after 5 before I came in line. The people we are saying, the lawyers were still in the court. They are still in the court. What judgment are they going to pass? What are you expecting? Why are you surprised? Why are you moved by what they're going to say? I personally, I don't care what they want to say in the court, because I know The freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in my hand, in your hand, you that is watching me. We are the ones that will make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release. What we do on the ground. And the freedom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is asking for is what? Biafra. If you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you must do everything possible for Biafra to come. If you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will do everything possible. If you want it to be free, do everything possible to make Biafra. If Biafra come tomorrow, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have the freedom that he desires. Not have freedom. Remember last time? You remember what happened in 2015? 2015, after they granted him bail, they sent the python to go and kill him. They sent python down to go and kill him in his home. Is that the kind of freedom you want for him again? I'm asking you. Is that the kind of freedom you are planning for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again? For him to come out and begin to run around? That is not the freedom I wish for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The freedom I wish for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to emerge with Biafra. I want him to emerge with Biafra and raise the flag. Be in a place where nobody will challenge him, where he will have a peace of mind. At least have time for his family. That is the kind of freedom I want for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the kind of freedom Mazi Nnamdi Kanu desires. This is a man who has given up his own life. He has given up his own life. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was dead, he owned nothing. He didn't even have a car. Every single thing he used are being donated by people, well-meaning Biafrans. They give to him. And he said it, that he's not interested. He's not interested in accumulating wealth. He is not interested. He says when Biafra comes, if we will allow him to die of hunger, so be it. But till then, that he's going to continue to fight for Biafra and nothing but Biafra. Nothing for Biafra. He wasn't accumulating wealth for himself. He wasn't accumulating wealth for himself. Every one of us has to pay attention. Don't get distracted. Let me tell you, there is going to be more distraction going to come. That is why I say I don't care what their verdict might be. I don't care whatever their verdict is. Already we know that the person we are talking about, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is innocent of all the charges. The Biafran people, we are innocent of all the charges. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. But is the Pharaoh going to let him go? Will the Pharaoh let him go? Will Pharaoh let him go? So there is nothing you will hear today that you have not heard before. When they corrupt United Nations, you know United Nations, how corrupt they are, that they will never come into an issue until when it has destroyed. They will never talk about an issue until when people are dead. They will never talk about issue until when they have interest in it. Until when their own interest is protected, they will never talk about issue. They came out with all their corruption and they said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. What else are you expecting to hear from anybody? What else are you expecting to hear? Every one of us know that he is very innocent. All they need to do is to let him go. But as Pharaoh, as stubborn as Pharaoh is, you know what happens. Those of you who are Christians, you know how stubborn Pharaoh was. With all the miracle that was performed in the presence of Pharaoh, he never allowed the children of Israel to go. Even when he ended up to submit, after he has seen death, when he ended up to submit, he still chased them. He still chased them along to the river Jordan. He chased them. He chased them to the sea. That is how Pharaoh is. So, while you are waiting for the verdict, prepare your mind for anything you hear. There is nothing I will hear in that Zoological Republic today that will be me a surprise. Nothing surprises me in that Zoological Republic. Nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. If they refuse to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it's not a surprise. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, it won't be a surprise to me. After all, he's a free man. He has not committed any crime. They were the one that violated all his rights. They committed a crime, violated all his rights, went against international law, went against African standard law, went against their own Nigerian law itself. And yet they are standing on that illegality and trying an innocent man. And people are going about their businesses as if it's business as usual. That is how evil this Zoological Republic is. Why we must get out. This is a country that supports evil. A country that supports evil. People will never speak until when they are directly concerned. With all the atrocities that have been committed against the Biafran people, with all the intimidation, all the crime that have committed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will still see people in the Zoological Republic who come out to talk against him in their conventional media. An innocent man. What crime has Mazi Nnamdi committed? Asking to let my people go. Asking for self-determination. Self-determination, as you and I know, is a right for every one of us. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. Whatever verdict you are hearing today, that the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria is illegal. It is illegal. Every person knows it. That is why I was telling you that there is no verdict you will see here that is supposed to move you. Don't allow those distractions. You know, the caliphate, they play a kind of game that we need to understand. Every time that we are changing the game, every time we change gear to step it up, they will bring up a word to dilute the ground. They will try to water the ground. That has always been their strategy. Using all the saboteurs, using their department of saboteur, every time the auto-piloted IPOB, the original IPOB created by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the auto-piloted by Chukwu Kabam himself now, under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, anytime we are making wave to step up the game, they will bring up a camouflage to douse the tension. It has always been their game. It has always been their game. And today, they know very well. You see, there are certain things we don't know about the coming of Biafra that they know. They know that Biafra is coming. There's no two ways about it. The Fulani Caliphate know that Biafra is coming. That is why you are seeing things that are happening in Nigeria. They're happening. They know that Biafra is coming. They have stolen everything they have to steal to keep themselves alive. You know they are lazy. They are lazy. They cannot work. They have stolen everything they have to steal in their life to make sure that they survive. The pipe, you just see them discover. They think they discover a pipe where they were siphoning oil. Did you think that pipe was laid today? Somebody who has been in power for good 8 years. It's almost 8 years, then 7 years plus. Getting to 8 years, he never discovered that pipe. All of a sudden, some few months for him to leave office, they are discovering a pipe. And our own brothers who are in the coastal region foolishly fell into the trap. They gave you charge of guiding a pipeline. They gave you charge of guiding a pipeline. And all of a sudden, oh, boom, you saw a pipeline connected in the sea. A pipeline that the Navy has not been able to see. A pipeline. Does it mean that all this while, you that is a militant in that area, all this while you didn't know that pipe was there? Is it just yesterday that Tompolo knew that there was a pipe there? Is it just yesterday that Tompolo know that there is a pipe from that sea? Is it just yesterday that he knew? Since past 7 years plus, is it just yesterday? So all this while, when you have been jumping around as a militant, you didn't know what is happening in your area. This is a game, a planned game. They have thrown the ball, 40 billion. And you see our brothers in the coastal region, the militants, some of them, not all of them, some of them pursuing that. They just throw the corn and they are chasing that corn. They are busy with the corn. And they know very well the stage the Biafran struggle have gotten. They know very well when our spokesperson, Man Simon Ekpa, announced the unity of all the agitators. When Simon Ekpa came to make a broadcast and said that all the Biafran agitators, genuine agitators, armed struggle, those who are armed struggle on the ground, every genuine armed group on the ground fighting for Biafra, that they should come on one umbrella, open their arms to welcome every one of them. You think they were not paying attention? They paid attention. When they had that announcement, it rang a bell in their ear. They began to think what to do. Already they know that the creek, the pig in the creek doesn't have any influence anymore. They know that the pig in the creek doesn't have any influence anymore. So they chose another direction to play another game, to distract people, to build a new Afonja. Because they know the Afonja they have over there doesn't have influence anymore. People don't listen to him anymore. People don't pay attention to what he says. So they have to create a new Afonja. They saw the level we are going. And I tell you, every time we make a move, they will always try to down tension. They will try to down tension. Every time we make a move, they will try to down tension. They will try to do one thing or the other. But they know we can't stop. The only thing we want today, until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu goes to Afari Beko in his father's compound and speak to us, give us reason and direction to follow. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I love him so much that he's a man who he's not authoritative. Even though Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put in place command and control, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has sense. He listens to people. I have watched him in several programs that he conducts. In his question and answer, people call in the program and ask irrelevant questions. He answers them. He never shut them down. I have watched so many interactions with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He never shut people down. He has a listening ear. And he is going with what the Biafran people want. He is going with what the Biafran people, just like our spokesperson today, Man Simon Eba, going with what Biafran, when he wants to tell what Biafrans want. That is where he stands. It is not it's not his own personal agenda, what he wants. What the Biafran people want. We want our freedom. And nothing more than that. So whatever strategy they want to bring to down tension or to play in the garage, to do whatever drama, we know very well. Even a blind man, deaf and dumb, know that the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya is illegal. It is illegal. The United Nations have said it. So which lawyer, which judge in his right sense will say the opposite? But it is left for the people to put in practice what they say. It is not today we begin to see them. It is not today we begin to see them. It is not today we start seeing these evil men. We have been seeing them for a very long time. We have been seeing these evil men for a very long time with their games and their drama and their tricks. So why are you moved? Why are you moved? We are dealing with a monster. The enemy we are dealing with, some of you think that maybe, you see, the most difficult freedom to fight for is when you are fighting for freedom from the hand of your fellow black person. It will be much more difficult when you are fighting for your freedom from a fellow black man. Our freedom fighting today is the Biafra struggle is much more difficult than South Africa apartheid. Much more difficult than the South African apartheid, because we are fighting for freedom from a black man who doesn't have conscience, who don't care. Their heart is sealed. They can go against all. Look at, just imagine. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in the United Kingdom. He has been broadcasting there for more than a decade. He has never one day been invited by the police, talk less of arrest. To show you that he has been following legally. Everything he's doing is legal. There is nothing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have done that is out of ordinary. Nothing. He was using his microphone to sensitize the people and ask for a legitimate right of his people, which is self-determination through a referendum. The most peaceful way to settle things politically. The most peaceful way to settle issue politically. Referendum. And the world was listening. He saw danger coming and he called us about the danger. That we should prepare for the danger ahead. Is it a crime? Prepare yourself for the danger ahead. Every sensible human being, including animal, prepare themselves when there is a danger. They prepare themselves. Even an animal, if you harass an animal, you see a danger. Animal sense a danger, the animal will go back and prepare him or herself very well, let alone a human being. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went further to create for you and I the ESN, and all hell break loose. All hell break loose. When they talk about forming ESN, you think that forming ESN is a crime. It is not a crime. It is not a crime. That same ESN that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed that we are up against, after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed ESN, every owner group in that Zoological Republic began to form a security outfit. They began to form a security outfit. Every single one of them. Suddenly they woke up. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been their mirror. He has been their mirror. Even in their hatred, they listen to him and they follow whatever he does. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the security outfit and armed them, because it was for self-defense. Armed them with the equal strength of the enemy. Not with wood and plywood, because the enemy we are up against are coming with AK-47 and even bigger ammunitions. And we have to arm ourselves with the same equal measure, because it was all about self-defense. The Eastern Security Network was just about self-defense. They were not there. Go and listen to the broadcast he made before the Eastern Security Network was launched. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made an outstanding broadcast before he launched the Eastern Security Network that he said it openly that this is a security outfit. It is not even a Biafran army. It is not Biafran army. He said it and he repeated it again. It is not Biafran army. He said that when Biafran army will roll out, that the whole world will know about it. And we have volunteers everywhere. When the video came out, some people were playing about it. Some people thought it was a joke. But today I can tell you that up till now, the ESN is not recruiting. We have volunteers on the ground, more than enough. We have more than enough on the ground. People who have given their life to defend Biafra land. He formed the Eastern Security Network. Just like you have in the north, you have the Hizbah. In the southwest, you have the Amoteku. In the southeast, the old southeastern region, the present south and the southeast, in the old southeastern region, he formed the ESN to protect the Biafra land, the whole of Biafra land. And he launched it and said their duty is in the bushes, not in the street, not to fight an innocent person. He made it clear that even if you are a Fulani and you are doing a legitimate business in the city, so be it. Do your business and go back with your money. Come to Biafra land, do your business and go. But nobody must reside anywhere in our bushes. That was the instruction. The instruction was to fight against the terrorists. But all hell broke loose because the agenda of the caliphate was different. And they didn't start at anything. They used our governors. Now all those governors should be covered themselves in shame. They used the governors, including the sponsorship of the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Governors were still involved. Governors were still involved. Some members of the Department of Saboteurs were there. Those who were not there keyed in after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. They keyed in because of their selfish interests, because of what they stand to gain. Everybody was chasing position and money. And while our spokesman Mazi Simon Ekpa was taking his time to listen to what the Biafran people are saying, for them it was all about command and control. Even when they don't know the meaning of the command and control, the first command that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, who instituted that command and control, the first command he gave, they disobeyed it and threw it to dustbin. And Biafrans were watching. The first command he gave when he was kidnapped, they disobeyed it and threw it to the dustbin. And Biafrans were watching. And they were busy trying to impose themselves on the Biafran people. And they have forgotten what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used to tell us, that Biafran people are the most difficult people to deal with. Before you can convince a Biafran to follow you, you must have proved it beyond reasonable doubt before Biafrans will march behind you. It took Mazi Nnamdi Kanu more than a decade to reset the mindset, to make Biafrans accept him the way it is. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not accepted because of command and control. Never. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not accepted by Biafrans because of command and control. It wasn't. It wasn't. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was not accepted by the Biafran people because of command and control. The Biafran people accepted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he proved himself. He earned it. He earned his respect from every Biafran. I did not join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of command and control. That wasn't my intention. That wasn't what brought me. I joined the struggle because I saw what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. He earned my respect from every ramification. He was so truthful to a fault. He is committed with his own life. He wasn't there for himself. He was there for every other Biafran. He even said he gave up his own life for others. He gave up his own life so that others can be able to survive. He gave up everything. And he was very, very consistent, which is my memory verse in all my channels. Every channel where I broadcast, our memory verse is always consistency is the key. That is the word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And in every broadcast, he will remind you that consistency is the key. And he will tell us that IPOB is consistency personified. And today, ask me, which people are consistent today? Which group are consistent? Who are those consistent today? The only people who are consistent, building on the foundation led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is the autopiloted IPOB. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, autopiloted by Chukwu Okeke Abiama, under the spokesmanship of Simon Ekpa and on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are the only people who are still consistent, building on the foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, making sure that every thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put in place still remains. Still remains. You don't have to be surprised. You see, when I started with the brokers, I said, do not be surprised from whatever you hear from the court. Don't be distracted, because they are going to bring distraction. You see, they just pronounced it on the favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his kidnap was illegal and he has to be released. But it's left for the Zululand Republic to obey the law. Some of you, that's why I say, don't be moved with whatever you see. That is why I say, do not be moved with whatever, because we are dealing with monsters who, in 2015, you know how many times Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail? How many of you remember how many times Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail in 2015? In how many courts before they release him? So, do not move an inch. It doesn't matter what they pronounce in the court. It doesn't matter what they see. We are still going with the same speed we are going. The Biafra struggle is on liberation. In that liberation mode, we will continue to intensify the liberation. Water everywhere. The water will continue. It will continue until Biafra receive their freedom. The water continue. It doesn't matter. These people are very strategic in their deception, in their distraction. They just gave the Department of Sabotage a language that they wish to begin to deceive those who were deceived. They will begin to deceive those who were deceived. They will tell you, oh, now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been giving, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have won the case. Why are you not shouting? Let us wait so that he will come out. Let us shout. If we shout now, they will not release him again. You are a madman if you listen to them. If you are listening to them, you are mad. These people are the same template is what they are playing. So this time around, we damn the consequence and focus, because we know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not, and they dare not do anything to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They cannot do a shit. They can none of the idiot can tamper with his life. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to come out safe and sound. As for us that are outside, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it time with that number when he was with us. He said, if you don't see me, you know what to do. Why are you still waiting for him? Why are you still waiting for him to speak to you from the dungeon? Mazi Simon Ekpa came out when Mazi Simon Ekpa came and said and told us that we have to make sure that we do what we are doing, make sure that the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi can become more expensive, and we must not pay attention to these people. Mazi Simon Ekpa said that we will not take any instruction anymore from the dungeon because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the territory of the enemy. As long as he cannot speak to us directly, every second-hand information cannot be trusted. Because of that, we will not wait information. After Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left enough information for you and I for us to get freedom. He has left enough information. What are you now waiting for? Why are you so wicked that you cannot be able to do anything? While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has suffered while he was outside. He was suffering for you outside, fighting for you. He is still in dungeon, and you are still waiting for him to fight for you. Are you not wicked? Are you not wicked? Mazi Simon Ekpa made that broadcast, and this Department of Sabotage, who cannot see far, who has a different agenda, who are trying to build a political movement, who are bent on building a political movement, they couldn't get the language. They misinterpreted it. But today it has become much more clearer. It has become much more clearer. And you have seen the milestone we have gone. As we are trying to talk about structure, they will talk about structure, protected structure. Meanwhile, their target was to destroy that very structure. Every structure of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is still standing today, it is because of the auto-piloted IPOB. The legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still standing today, and remember, thanks to auto-piloted IPOB. Under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa. That is why the legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still intact. You remember when they were talking about the issue of ESN? Every time they will tell you they are in charge of ESN. Someone doesn't know anything about ESN. He doesn't know where they are. He doesn't even have any connection with ESN. But as the day goes by, the truth began to come out. Today, they no longer sing on that direction because they know that the Biafrans' eyes are open and the Biafrans have known the truth. They know that the Biafrans have seen it clear and they have known the truth. And they can no longer, you can't deceive anybody anymore. You can't deceive anybody. And they are panicking. When they saw that the trade is on speed, When they saw that the Biafran train is on speed, heading for arrival, every one of them get jittery. They began to speak from all sides of their mouth. Some of them began to confess unknowingly. Some of them, Chukwu Okikabiama forced them to confess. On live video, they confess. After confessing, they go and watch their video. They begin to make amends. They begin to make amends. Chukwu Okikabiama took over. When you heard autopilot, when you hear, you see, some of you forgot why. Some of you forgot. If you were in the program the very day Mazi Simon Ekpa mentioned that autopilot, when you hear autopilot, you will know that it is much deeper than what you're hearing. It is not just a name. He didn't talk about it as a name. It wasn't a title. The day Mazi Simon Ekpa spoke about the autopilot, he didn't say it as a name of a group. No, it is deeper than that. It is much more spiritual than you see. Chukwu Okikabiama in charge of the group. Chukwu Okikabiama in charge of the struggle by himself. A struggle continue. That a time will come when Chukwu Okikabiama will take charge of the struggle. That was the revelation that day. But because he wasn't a pastor, and that very day he was making that statement as an advice to the DOS, as an advice to the Department of Sabotage. He told them on that advice, he said, a time will come when the Biafran people will take charge of this very restoration of Biafra. They will take charge. People will begin to do things on their own, positively, to infect the coming of Biafra. That they should pray and ask Chukwu Okikabiama to give them wisdom to be able to manage that time when it comes. That was the message. I was watching the video that they live. It's still there. You can go and search it up and look it up. I watched the program live when he made that comment. That a time will come when the struggle that we are in will be taken over by Chukwu Okikabiama himself, and people will be working, doing things on their own, by their own self. That the program, people will be doing things on their own. The struggle will be on autopilot. The struggle will be on autopilot to the positive side of the Biafra coming. That's the Department of Sabotage, that they should pray to Chukwu Okikabiama to give them the wisdom to be able to manage the situation. But what did they do? Instead of them paying attention to that prayer or seeking for advice, what did they do? They felt, they were terrified. They felt challenged. They were outraged. They went out and began to plan all manner of evil against him. They began to throw all manner of missiles, begin to throw all manner of attack to destroy him. They tried everything they tried. But the more they tried, the more they failed. The more they tried, the more they failed. Those that started that attack today, they have fought themselves. They have almost destroyed themselves. The people who started that attack against him, against Mazi Simon Ekpa, they have almost destroyed themselves. The few ones that you see talking today, they're meaningless. There's no point even calling their name or maybe listening to them. They are meaningless. You see them today. Today, on their own, they are confessing. They are confessing those things that when Mazi Simon Ekpa was saying we felt it was an accusation. Today, they are confessing those things with their own mouth. They are confessing. Why you will know that Chukwu Okikabiama is in charge, that after confessing, they will come and begin to defend their confession. Nobody should be that. Nobody should be that. They will confess. After confessing, then they will come back and begin to retract it and begin to. One of the clowns who was even attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was with us. That clown was attacking Mazi Nnamdi. That is how you know that these people are evil. They don't mean well for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every single one of them. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had a problem with the deputy, when the deputy started his own problem with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one of these idiots came on his live program, which I watched. He was calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out, telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, giving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu order to go and beg his deputy. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should go and apologize to the deputy. That is the person they are working for today. That is the exactly person they are working for today. Why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was still around though? This guy was talking against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But today you see him parading, disgracing himself everywhere online. It is much more clear. When you look back where we are coming from, that is the only time you can be able to. If you are able to step back a little, push your memory back a little, you can be able to find out who are these people we are talking about. They are all evil. Bunch of evil men who have surrounded Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue to hinder the struggle. somebody who claimed to be a freedom fighter, somebody who claimed to be a freedom fighter, all of a sudden, you that is fighting for freedom of your own people, you come online and you are defending the instrument of oppression against you. Is that person okay? Is that not madness? You are fighting against oppression. You are fighting against intimidation. You are fighting against slavery. You want to liberate your people. And at the same time, you are now defending the instruments of oppression of your people. You are defending it. Coming on the live show and you are telling people that anybody that fight against Nigerian military, that kill Nigerian military or kill police, that person is on his own. And the person, you go and catch the person and hand it over to the police. You report to the person so that your people will say, mad people everywhere. And you have forgotten that the instruments of destruction and oppression is the police and the army. They are the instruments of the oppression and destruction that is in the hand of the caliphate. The British instruments of destruction that they handed over to the caliphate before they left, and the caliphate is still using it to oppress all the indigenous people, is that police and the army. They are the major instrument of oppression. The major instrument of oppression. That is why you see they commit genocide without looking. They don't care. They can commit genocide at any time. At every given opportunity, they commit genocide. They did it in Sabah massacre. People thought it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was they intentionally did it, and they are proud about it till tomorrow. And when you see the people who participated in Sabah massacre coming to defend it and be proud of it, you'll be wondering. You'll be wondering. Even if it was a war, there are rules of engagement in war. Okay, let's say that one is war. What about NSAS? Was that a war also? Was NSAS a war? As if that is not okay for you. When members of IPOB were praying and they went and shot them, was that a war? The Ezu River killing, was that a war? The time you massacre that of Obibo, the Obibo killing, is that a war? The recent one, most recent one in Delta State, where people were protesting against the EFCC with their criminality. EFCC with their criminality, people were protesting, they opened fire on them. And many people lost their life. They opened fire on them and they killed somebody. Was that a war situation? This is an instrument of oppression. And you can see, it is very clear. You don't even need somebody to investigate for you. That the people that are committing the murder and criminality in Biafra land are the military. They are the military. They are the one that made the place insecure. They created the monster by themselves. After creating the monster, now the monster turned back and began to bite them. Then now you are blaming the monster for taking action. They woke up the monster. And then when people come to protect themselves, now you are blaming the people who protect themselves without going to the root of the cause of the problem. You are now blaming the root cause, the agent of oppression, and you said you are a Biafran. You say you are a freedom fighter. You say you are fighting for freedom. And you be on your platform, you are defending an instrument of oppression against your people. Are you not mad? Of course you are insane. You are insane. No military man, no well-trained military man will go to a civilian area and open fire. Even when in a war situation, if a soldier surrenders, you don't open fire. If you do that, you go to jail. In a war situation, you don't feel a captured soldier. A soldier that surrenders to you, you can't kill that soldier. Never. Prisoners of war. If you have not heard, haven't you heard about prisoners of war? Haven't you heard about prisoners of war? A soldier who fought a war was killed. All of a sudden he surrendered. You dare not shoot at him. You don't shoot a gun. But what you see in Biafra land, they come to Biafra land and kill with impunity. They come to Biafra land and want every minute. Even as you're watching the video, people are still losing their life in Biafra land. As you are watching this broadcast, they are still terrorizing people in Biafra land. You see why we must not stop the speed. We must not stop the pressure. We have to heighten the pressure. With all their announcement, with all the victory that they're giving Biafra on their court, don't move an inch. It doesn't matter what their court pronounces. It doesn't matter what we know. You and I know that Mazi Nnamdi is innocent. So why are you moved by what they are saying? Why are you moved by that pronunciation? Why are you moved with it? Why are you going to down this tension because of what you heard from them? These are criminals. But don't worry, you will see people who are going to be using that very verdict tomorrow. You will see people who are going to use that very verdict to confuse Biafran people. That's the situation. It's time of politics. The politicians will use it to campaign. The politicians in Biafra land will use the campaign and tell you to that they are going to release Nnamdi Kanu, that they have given him victory, that they are going to release him. You should stop doing what. Let me tell you, step up the game. What every Biafran have to do today is to step up the game. If you were in gear 3, put it to gear 6. Raise the bar more. The liberation of Biafra have started, and we cannot stop until Biafra come. Election. There will be no election in Biafra land. And that marks the beginning of the coming of Biafra. Our spokesperson, Mazi, has explained it. For those of you who are still confused, he has explained it very, very clear. You can't say you don't know it today. Mazi have explained that very issue very, very clear for us to understand when it comes to the no election. For those who are asking, why do we say when the election? If election didn't happen, this will happen. If election didn't happen, we will not have those criminals. First of all, you and I know that we don't have any representative anywhere in National Republic. Let's agree on that first. Everybody in the southern region, mainly the southern region, mainly the southeast, in Biafra land, we don't have any representation anywhere. We don't have any representation in the House of Assembly, not in the Senate, not as the governor, let alone be the president. We don't have any representation anywhere. Every single politician you see in the Biafra land, every single politician from the local government chairman, they are being placed there by the caliphate. And they are playing the role of the caliphate and the British. Their major work, every politician from local government to the presidency, their major work is to make sure that the oil, the mineral resources is flowing to the UK and making sure that the Fulanis return the ground, they return the soil. That the Fulanis take over the land. That is the only thing they do. And if you think that you are the one, you have never voted anybody in. Since Nigeria began to exist, the Biafra land have never voted anybody in to represent them. Every representative you have there, they are picked by the caliphate. That is why you see them, before your governor will contest in your state, he will go to Sokoto. Somebody will contest for that, you go to Sokoto. What are you going there for? You have a president, your president will first of all go and take permission in London. Go to the US. The next in Sokoto. What for? How many of them do you see going to Oba of Benin or Obi of Onitsha? How many of them do you see going to the unimaginable of Calabar? How many? How many of the politicians do you see going there to pay allegiance always? But every time they are running to Sokoto. Look at your brother Fitobi, he has already gone to tie Taban. They will first of all go and tie that rubbish on your head before ever you can become anything. Before you can become anything, whether you want to be a minister, you want to be a governor, you want to, up to local government chairman, they select. And that is why we say enough is enough. We are going to retire every one of them by ourselves. Since they don't want to retire, since they don't want to retire out of fear of the unknown, every single one of them want Biafra, but they don't want to pursue it. We are going to force them to retire. And how are we going to force them to retire? It is by making sure that the election does not hold in the Zuluka Republic. In Biafra land, if election doesn't hold in Biafra land, they cannot be able to elect anybody. Biafra land will be without any Nigerian officials. We will have our nation. That will mark the beginning. The only option they will have after that is what? A referendum to know why what is happening is happening. And if they refuse, they want to come to armed struggle. We are ready. We are already armed to the teeth. That is why, you see, the youths are going to conduct the ESM fundraising on Saturday. Mega fundraising by the youths. ESM fundraising by the youth on Saturday. Try to be there. It is going to happen on Saturday. Try to be there. Any place you are, try to be there. And Umada are going to be coming to on Mazi broadcast, I think tomorrow. They're going to be there tomorrow to explain more and expatiate on what is going to happen and how things are going to go. They're going to come on Simon broadcast. So try and be there to hear more from Umada. The mega fundraising that is coming up on Saturday. On Saturday, I think that's 15th. On Saturday, next tomorrow. A mega fundraising by the youth themselves. It's all forwarded to the restoration of Biafra. Whatever we are doing, we cannot slow it down. Not because of any verdict. It doesn't matter the verdict they bring. It doesn't matter the verdict they bring. We will not slow down. We will maintain our speed until Biafra comes. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it himself. He said, when you raise up arm for armed struggle, you must not bring it down. You see, some of you are a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but you're not paying attention to what he says. But those of us who are hardcore followers, we don't only listen to him, we follow everything he said. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it clear that when you raise up arm, you can't bring it down until you get what you want. That is why he said that the dragon flag had been raised, and that the dragon flag was raised, that the dragon flag will never come down until Biafra comes. So if you are deceiving yourself, thinking that because of a verdict you had, because of what you had from here and here, that you're going to step down, that you're going to reduce the pressure, then, my friend, stop deceiving yourself. Get the hell out that kind of, remove that distraction from your head, because you are deceiving yourself. Intensify everything we are doing. That is the only thing that's going to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. We will continue to do what we are doing until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, until we see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Afari Beg. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out in his father's compound in Afari Beg, then he will be talking to us directly. We'll be hearing from him directly. We can ask him question. Why did you say so? Why did we do? Why are we going to do this? We agree that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has much more experience than we do. He might have much more information than we have. So if he gives us a reason to step back, then we begin to consider stepping back. But for him to be in the DSS or anywhere and somebody bringing in second-hand information, we have to step up the game. Increase it to power. If it was in power 5, increase it to power 10. Increase it to power 100. Take it to the highest level. That is what we are supposed to be doing today. There is no time to waste, no time to talk about irrelevant issues. No. No time to talk about irrelevant issues. We have to continue doing what we're supposed to do. We have to continue doing we have to move by force. There's no going back. May Chukwu Okukabiyama continue to guide and protect every one of us. It doesn't matter what the enemy or what they say, what they do. We will continue until Biafra comes. And even after Biafra have come, we will continue to fight. We'll fight the battle to the end. We will fight the battle to the end. We cannot relent. Let them keep on saying what they want to say. Let them keep on distracting themselves. Let them keep on lying and blackmailing. I said it from the beginning of this year that the blackmail is going to increase. Distraction is going to increase. Blackmail will increase. That we have to mind what we do and what we say. We have to mind what we do and what we say. Only those who are mentally tough, those who have a strong mental toughness, they are the ones that are going to overcome. If you don't have that mental toughness, the period that we are in, you might not be able to go into it. Let me tell you, if you are a Biafran and you don't have that mental toughness, you feel you cannot stand the pressure, just give way. It is not compulsory that, I say this and I say it again, it is not compulsory that everybody must come out and fight and talk. You can never get that 100% compliant. So if you fall among those who doesn't want to fight for Biafra, keep your mouth shut. Just keep your mouth shut. Take your blanket, cover yourself. When Biafra comes, we wake you up. If you feel you can't face the pressure, take your blanket, cover yourself. When Biafra comes, we are going to wake you up. When Biafra comes, we will wake you up when Biafra comes. Okay? When Biafra comes, we will wake you up. It is not mandatory that everybody must come into it. But as it stands today, as it is now, we must continue until Biafra comes. And if you stand in the way of Biafra, we'll crush you. Biafra is a moving train, and no man born of a woman can stop it. I thank everybody who has been on this broadcast from beginning to the end. If you have shared this broadcast, may Chukwu Okukabiyama guide and protect you. Every hand that have shared this broadcast, every hand that has shared this broadcast and send it out, every hand that has shared and liked this broadcast, Chukwu Okukabiyama will guide and protect you. Let me tell you, don't be surprised in whatever you hear. We are victorious. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is innocent and remains innocent. All we are waiting is for him to come out. We want to see him in his father's home. Then we can be able to talk to him. Until then, we will continue to fight for Biafra by all means possible until Biafra comes. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide all the Biafrans all over the world, wherever you are. As the victory is coming, we are going to be victorious and Biafra is going to come. There will be no election in Biafra land. Keep that one at the back of your mind. And it will be enforced. It's not like another election that we just say it again. This one will be enforced. And we are not saying disrupt election. There will be no election in Biafra land. That marks the beginning of Krema Biafra. And whatever you can do to support it, go ahead and do it. Preach it on your own. Go ahead, do anything you can do to make sure that the election doesn't hold. Because that marks the beginning of the coming of Biafra. The roadmap has been shown. Some of you have been asking questions about that. The question have been answered. The roadmap have been thrown out. It's left for you to do the needful. Now, not tomorrow. Please, on Saturday, support the ESN fundraising. Fundraising is coming on Saturday. The youths are going to have a mega fundraising for ESN. I've already posted the flyer on my Facebook page. King David Exploit Expose. You go there, go to King David Exploit Expose, follow the page. You will see many posts that I post there. I posted that fundraising. Go to all autopiloted platform or go to our brother Simon Ekpa. Go to his platform. You're going to see it. The fundraising that is coming up on Saturday. Mega fundraising. And you one that are going to speak on that fundraising either today or tomorrow. So be there in my Simon Ekpa program and listen to this. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Biafran that is watching all over the world. We will all see Biafra and we celebrate in Biafra land. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect the Ududua people. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect the Middle Belters. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect everyone that is genuinely seeking for freedom. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect Sunday Igboho. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our men on the ground. The volunteer force, people who have volunteered their own life to secure their land. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect them. Build a wall of fire around them. No weapon of the enemy will penetrate them. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our brother Simon Ekpa. Secure him. Continue to give him more mental toughness. There will be no distraction to him. Give him more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to continue to move until Biafra comes. We are not stepping back. May Chukwu Okike Abiama build a wall of fire around Mazi Simon Ekpa. No evil shall befall him. No evil shall befall him. No evil shall befall him. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our school, Nnamdi Kanu. Our school, Nnamdi Kanu, may the angels of Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to carry him in their palm. They will continue to hold him in their palm. Any contamination in his body, anything that is not worthy in his body, any poison in his body, may the doctors sent by Chukwu Okike Abiama spiritually begin to minister to him and heal him. Let these doctors begin to minister to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spiritually. Let Chukwu Okike Abiama send doctors to minister to him and heal him of all wounds, of all illness. He will be healthy and strong. And very, very soon, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to join us. We will all celebrate together once again in Biafra land. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. But at the end of the day, Biafra will definitely come. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Thank you for joining. Tomorrow, I'm going to come back again. Same time, 5 p.m. Biafra time. Join me on the broadcast tomorrow. Every day I broadcast here, 5 p.m. Biafra time. And I also broadcast on my page. If you can join me on my page, go to my page, King David Exploit Expose. I broadcast there also every day. Join there. You can get more messages and more posts that I make over there. And you will know. This is an autopiloted platform. Autopiloted by Chukwu Okike Abiama. Under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa. And on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There we stand. We speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Consistency personified. That is where we stand. They will kill us. We will kill them. But at the end of the day, Biafra will definitely come. Thank you. I remember. See you. Bye-bye.